GoPro Hero 10 Black Review. In this account, we talk about technology, gadget, marketing, and whatever we want. So let's get started. The GoPro Hero 10 Black is the latest in a long line of Hero action cameras that stretches all the way back to 2005. It's the most polished, powerful GoPro so far thanks to its new GP2 processor, but it's also only a relatively minor upgrade on its Hero 9 Black predecessor. Every so often GoPros make a big leap forward. The GoPro Hero 5 Black was waterproof without needing a case, and the Hero 7 Black introduced Hypersmooth stabilization. The Hero 10 is built around the same 23MP 1/2.3 inches sensor as its predecessor and it is waterproof down to 10 meters, but it's that new GP2 processor that unlocks most its new talents. The latter two are fun, slow-mo affairs that are perfect for social media cutscenes or cam footage. It's a shame that the Hero 10 Black hasn't moved up to a larger sensor like the Insta360 or 1-inch edition, while its recent moves into webcam and live streaming continue to come with limitations on resolutions, still only 1080p, and platform support, although it is now possible to live stream with Hypersmooth stabilization. But despite its relatively conservative upgrades, the GoPro Hero 10 Black does nicely refine the image quality strides made by the Hero 9 Black, and is now the most user-friendly, powerful action camera you can buy, if not exactly the best value. The GoPro Hero 10 Black is available to buy now for $399, £379, $599 if you sign up for a GoPro subscription, or for $499, £479, $749 on its own. It'll also be available in India for 54,500 rupees from early November. The GoPro subscription, formerly known as GoPro Plus, costs $49.99, £49.99, $69.99 per year when bought separately, and you'll be set up to auto-renew annually if you buy the Hero 10 Black with a subscription. Included in the GoPro subscription is unlimited cloud storage for videos and photos at full quality, automatic uploads, full access to the quick apps editing tools, 50% off all accessories, up to 10 per year, live streaming support, and replacements for broken cameras, for a fee depending on the camera. The GoPro Hero 10 Black is, physically, nigh on identical to its predecessor. The only external difference from the Hero 9 Black is the new model's fancy blue logos on the front and side. GoPro has made a couple of subtle tweaks, though. The big one for water sports fans is the new lens cover. This now has a hydrophobic coating to help it repel water, and it really works. We ran the Hero 10 Black and its predecessor under a tap, and the new lens cover was significantly better at repelling water, leaving no droplets to obscure its view. Still, an unplanned test when our head-mounted GoPro flew off after a heavy zipline landing and landed in some jagged wood chips resulted in no obvious marks on the lens. Like the Hero 9 Black, this lens cover is also removable if you do get serious damage, like a direct hit from an airsoft pellet, or want to add ND, neutral density, filters. These first appeared on the Hero 8 Black, and mean you don't need to fiddle around with an extra housing to bolt it onto your helmet. There's a 1.4 inches front LCD for vloggers, which GoPro says is now a little smoother when showing movement than before, thanks to some higher frame rates powers by its GP2 processor, more on that later. This screen is so small though, we honestly couldn't tell the difference from its predecessor. Far more noticeable is the improved 2.27 inches rear touchscreen. Again, GoPro says this has improved touch sensitivity, but the real difference comes from the power of its GP2 processor. The Hero 9 Black sluggish, unresponsive rear screen was one of our biggest criticisms of that model, and while it did improve with a recent firmware fix, it's still nowhere near as snappy as the Hero 10's touchscreen. Let's be clear, this is how the Hero 9 Black should have performed from the outset, so it's hardly a win for its successor. But the faster startup times, it's typically ready to go in under 5 seconds, compared to 8 seconds for the Hero 9 Black, and smartphone-like snappiness do make it far more enjoyable to use than last year's often frustrating experience. Open the Hero 10 Black's side door and you'll find the same 1,720 mAh battery as the one used by the Hero 9 Black. Like the 1.4 inches front LCD, this was another change that was introduced by its predecessor, so it's something to be wary of if you're upgrading from an older GoPro. Your older, 1,220 mAh batteries won't work in here. Lastly, flanking the battery are a microSD card slot and USB port. The latter is obviously used for charging, but can also be used to wirelessly fling footage to your phone, This is about 50% faster than wireless transfers. It's a simple enough process with Android phones, which just need a USB-C to USB-C cable, but iPhone users will need a Lightning to USB adapter, plus the USB-C cable. Overall, then, the Hero 10 Black is a hardy, pocket camera that's waterproof down to 10 meters and now feels a bit more polished than its predecessor. Last year, the GoPro Hero 9 Black introduced a new image sensor. It was the same size sensor as previous GoPros, 0.3 inch, but had a higher resolution that allowed it to shoot 5K video for the first time. The Hero 10 Black has that same image sensor, but pairs it with a new GP2 processor that unlocks some handy new talents. The GP2 chip is the first big processing upgrade we've seen in GoPros for 4 years, and it's long overdue. The GP1 struggled to cope with the increased demands placed on it by the Hero 9 Black's dual screens and higher resolution sensor, but its successor is behind pretty much all of the improvements you'll find in the Hero 10. Alongside the aforementioned boosts to startup times and touchscreen performance, there are also some useful new frame rate modes that make it a more versatile action camera. You can see a summary of the new modes in the table below, but the particularly fun ones are the slow motion options, including a long-awaited 4K/120p mode. The headline video improvements are those high frame rate modes, but there are some more subtle ones, too. GoPro's been doing some algorithmic tinkering, and its GP2 chip brings local tone mapping, an HDR processing technique for improving dynamic range, from its photo mode to video, too. In theory, this enhances contrast in specific areas of the video, rather than globally, across the whole frame, to bring out more detailed textures. In a similar vein, GoPro says it's improved its 3D noise reduction to boost the Hero 10 Black's low light performance in dimly lit scenes, think woodlands, dusk or your house. Probably more useful to most people are the final GP2 related improvements, better in-camera horizon leveling and Hypersmooth 4.0. The option of automatic horizon leveling, which keeps your footage level even if you're rocking from side to side, used to only be available in GoPro's app. The Hero 9 Black introduced an in-camera version, but the Hero 10 Black's horizon leveling skills are much more powerful, with the ability to correct footage that's been skewed by 45 degrees, rather than just 27 degrees. This is a handy feature for mountain bikers or skiers who want smooth footage that won't give viewers motion sickness. Another bonus on this front is Hypersmooth 4.0, which brings the stabilization's powerful high mode to the Hero 10 Black's most demanding modes, 5.3K/30p, 4K/60p and 2.7K/120p. Rivals like the Insta360 ONE or 1-inch edition might have trumped GoPro with larger 1-inch sensors, but in our experience Hypersmooth remains the best form of stabilization on any action cam. While the Hero 10 Black's GP2 processor does make it a more polished, fun camera to use than its predecessor, some aspects of its performance are still typical GoPro. It has the same battery as the Hero 9 Black, whose 1,720 mAh capacity is larger than all previous GoPros. But much of that extra capacity is drained by the Hero 10 Black's more demanding dual screens and high frame rate modes. In our battery test, with the camera shooting a continuous 4K/30p clip with Hypersmooth on and the screen brightness at 50%, we managed to get a total of 72 minutes recording from the Hero 10. This included 2 breaks for overheating, when the camera shut down under the strain. This is actually a little less than we got last year for the Hero 9 Black and similar to the Hero 8 Black, so it's clear that the old GoPro adage is true: make sure you carry a spare battery or 2 with you. In a more real-world test, during a visit to a Go Ape adventure park, a fully charged Hero 10 Black gave us 3.5 hours before conking out. On the plus side, though, the Hero 10 Black's new slow-mo modes, 4K/120p and 2.7K/240p, are a lot of fun and a great way to bring a change of pace to your social media videos. As always, there is a noticeable quality drop when shooting in these modes, particularly if you find yourself in anything other than bright sunlight. But the versatility these modes give you, particularly when combined with horizon leveling and Hypersmooth stabilization, makes them one of the main reasons to upgrade from an older GoPro. GoPro has made some changes to the default video settings on the Hero 10 Black. There are actually now 3 color settings to choose from. Previously you either had the option of GoPro Color Profile, which was punchy, bold colors, and a flat one that you could grade afterwards. But now there's a natural profile, which is the new default, and we're pretty big fans of it. GoPro has also dialed down the sharpness to medium by default, another good move, but we tended to shoot with it on low and with the bitrate set to high, or 100 megabits per second, for maximum image quality. When compared to footage shot on the Hero 9 Black with the same settings, the results were similar, but with subtle improvements that are likely down to that new local tone mapping. Still, the Hero 9 Black had already made the big advances in areas like detail over older GoPros with that new sensor, and you're unlikely to notice a huge difference here unless you're really pixel peeping. The 5K/60p mode is a nice to have, if not ideally suited to action scenes due to the more limited stabilization that's available, but it's the new slow-mo modes that are the most fun. There's undoubtedly still a softness to the video in the Hero 10's slower frame rates of 120p and 240p, particularly the latter, but the option of shooting 4K/120p and 2.7K/240p lifts them from novelty status to something genuinely usable. GoPro's Hypersmooth also remains the best you'll find on an action cam, while the boosts to horizon leveling are another welcome bonus. On the other hand, not many people buy a GoPro to shoot stills, and while the Hero 10 is a passable, waterproof stand-in for your smartphone, it has been left a little behind on this front. In good light, the results are pretty crisp and colorful, while Super Photo can help you regain some highlight details from areas like sky. But the 3MP resolution boost from the Hero 9 Black won't be noticeable to most, and in tough scenes including low light ones, it simply can't compete with the computational pipelines of Apple, Google, and Samsung. You do get the option to shoot in RAW, but this is only available in the wide fisheye view and shadow recovery is limited with a 0.3-inch sensor. Perhaps the more sensible approach to GoPro snapping is to simply accept the sub-smartphone quality and embrace the convenience of frame grabs, which now let you grab slightly improved 15.8MP stills from 5.3K video, or 19.6MP from 5K 4:3 footage. The kind of shots you get from doing this are unlikely to be found in your phone's camera roll, and the GoPro's ability to venture into dangerous territory remains one of the main reasons to buy one.